Most parents say it dozens of times a day. Good job. After every drawing, every bite of dinner, every time their child does something, anything, that deserves a reaction. And it feels right. It feels warm. It feels like exactly what a loving parent should do. But here's what almost no one talks about. Saying good job too often in the wrong way is quietly teaching your child something you never intended. It's not teaching them confidence. It's teaching them to need your approval to feel okay about themselves. And once that pattern is in place, it follows them for the rest of their life. Build up 0:30, 115 the mechanism. What good job actually does. Here's what's actually happening when you say good job. You are placing yourself as the judge. Your child draws a picture. You say good job. Their brain registers, my parent evaluated this, and it passed. Do that hundreds of times, and their nervous system learns a very specific lesson. My work only has value when someone else confirms it. My effort only matters when it earns approval. I am only doing well if someone tells me I am. This is called external motivation. And the problem isn't that it exists, it's that good job builds it as the foundation, instead of something much more powerful that your child already has inside them. Intrinsic motivation. The drive that says, I worked hard, I'm proud of myself, I want to try again. Good job doesn't build that. In fact, when overused, it slowly erodes it. Researchers at Columbia University studied this directly. They gave children a simple puzzle test. Then they gave one group praise that sounded like this. Wow, you're so smart. The other group heard, wow, you worked really hard on that. Then they offered both groups a harder puzzle. The children who were told they were smart, the majority chose the easier puzzle next time. They had something to protect. Their identity as smart. A harder puzzle was a risk. But the children praised for their effort? Most of them chose the harder one. Because effort is something you can always do more of. There's nothing to lose. One sentence. One small shift in how you give praise. And it changes how your child relates to challenge for years. I'm Ava Marco from BabyBrainBlueprint. And in this video, we're going to talk about why good job affects your child's motivation more than most parents realize, and exactly what to say instead, so your child builds the kind of inner confidence that doesn't depend on anyone else's opinion. Now, before we get into what to say instead, and I'm going to give you exact phrases you can use today, I want to make sure you understand why this matters as much as it does. Because this isn't just about motivation. It's about what your child believes about themselves when no one is watching. Number 1. Good job teaches your child to look outward for validation instead of inward. Think about what happens in your child's brain the moment you say it. They just finished coloring a picture. They weren't thinking about your opinion, they were absorbed in it. Choosing colors, staying in the lines or not, feeling something about what they made. Then you walk over and say, good job, and in that moment, without meaning to, you redirect their attention away from their own experience and toward your evaluation of it. Over time, your child stops asking themselves, how do I feel about what I made? And starts asking, what will my parents think? You see this play out as they get older. The child who can't start a project without reassurance. The teenager who crumbles when they get one piece of criticism. The adult who can't make a decision without checking with everyone around them first. The roots of that aren't dramatic. They're hundreds of small moments where the external voice became louder than the internal one. So from now on, before you say, good job, pause for 1 second. And instead of evaluating their work, get curious about their experience of it. Try, what do you think about it? Or, how did that feel to make? You're putting the authority back where it belongs. Inside them. Number 2. When you praise the outcome instead of the process, your child learns to avoid challenge. Here's the pattern. Your child tries something and succeeds. You say, good job. Their brain connects. Success earns approval. Now what happens next time they face something hard? Something they might fail at? The risk isn't just failure. The risk is losing your approval. So they pull back. They choose easier tasks. They say, I can't before they've really tried, because trying and failing is more threatening than not trying at all. This is not laziness. This is a nervous system that has learned to protect the approval it depends on. The shift is simple, but it changes everything. Instead of praising the result, Praise the process, the effort, the persistence, the strategy. You kept going even when that part got hard. I noticed you tried a different way when the first way didn't work. That took a lot of focus. Did you feel that? Now your child learns. What earns connection isn't success. It's effort. Trying. Coming back to something. Those are all things they can control. And because they can control them, challenge stops being a threat and starts being interesting. And here's what most parents don't realize about the next part. It's not just what you say. It's what you do right after your child struggles. That moment, more than any other, is where your child's relationship with difficulty is decided. Number 3. How you respond when your child fails matters more than how you respond when they succeed. Most parents pour energy into celebrating achievement, but the real work happens in the hard moments. Your child tries something and it goes wrong. Maybe they're upset. Maybe they give up. Maybe they say, "I'm rubbish at this. I'm not doing it anymore." And this is the moment. How you respond here teaches your child who they are in the face of difficulty. If you rush to fix it, minimize the struggle, or immediately offer praise to smooth over the frustration, your child learns that hard feelings are something to escape. But if you sit with them and at first, "That was really frustrating, wasn't it? You worked hard, and it didn't go the way you wanted." And then gently, not pushing, just being there. "Do you want to try a different way? Or do you want to leave it for now and come back to it?" You're teaching their nervous system something enormous. Struggle is survivable. Frustration isn't dangerous. Hard things are worth coming back to. And more than any good job ever could. That is what builds real confidence. Not the kind that needs your approval to exist. The kind that holds steady even when no one is watching. Number 4. When good job is said for everything, children stop believing it. This is something parents rarely expect. When a child hears good job after every single thing they do, putting their shoes on, eating their breakfast, walking through a door, something happens in their brain. The phrase stops carrying information. It becomes background noise. Wallpaper. The verbal equivalent of a thumbs-up emoji on a message you didn't really read. And children sense this. Even young children. They stop feeling genuinely seen by it. They start to understand, somewhere beneath the surface, that this is just something their parent says. And when that happens, the thing you were trying to give them, that feeling of being noticed, being valued, being enough, it doesn't land anymore. What lands instead is specific, genuine, unhurried. I watched how carefully you did that. You took your time even when you wanted to rush. The way you handled that wasn't easy, and you did it anyway. One real observation is worth more than 1,000 automatic good jobs. Because it tells your child, "I actually saw you, not just what you did." You. Number 5. Here's exactly what to say instead, and how to make it feel natural. I'm not asking you to never say good job again. That's not the point. The point is to say things that actually do what you want good job to do. Make your child feel seen. Build their inner confidence. Teach them to trust themselves. So here are the replacements. You don't need all of them. Pick 2. Start there. When they finish something, how do you feel about that? Puts the authority inside them. When they've worked hard, I noticed you didn't give up when it got difficult. Praises process, not outcome. When they succeed, that took real effort. Did you feel that? Connects their feeling to their effort, not your approval. When they struggle, this is a hard one. I'm going to stay right here with you. Teaches that difficulty doesn't mean you withdraw. When they show you something they made, tell me about it. 3 words. Endless information about how they see themselves. None of these are complicated. None of them take more time. They just require you to be present for 1 extra second. To respond to the child, not just to the action. And here's the thing that stays with me about all of this. The children who grew up hearing good job for everything, they became adults who work incredibly hard. Who achieve a lot. Who look, from the outside, like they have it together. But ask them how they feel about their own work when no one's watching. Ask them if they can sit with something they made and feel proud without someone else confirming it. A lot of them can't. Not because they weren't loved. Because the love was tied to the evaluation. And they learned, over thousands of small moments, that their worth lives in someone else's response. You have the chance to teach something different. Not, "You're good because I said so," but "You are enough. Your effort matters. Your struggle is worth staying in. And you can know that all on your own." Warm, unhurried delivery. No urgency. That if this gave you something to think about, even one phrase you want to try differently, that's enough for today. Change doesn't have to be dramatic to be real. One moment at a time. One conversation at a time. That's how the pattern shifts. If you want to go deeper on how the words we use shape what our children believe about themselves, there's more here on the channel. I'll see you in the next one.